Hello, I'm Alex from Mallorca, and this week I am here in Mallorca for the first escape of the year with a group of 18 people. We've had some amazing riding, the weather's been great, and I thought I would jump on this opportunity to share with you some of my favorite routes on the island. When we come to Mallorca, we choose to stay in the middle of the island because it gives you a bit more options of all the rides you can do around, whereas people typically would recommend you to stay in Puerto Poyensa, which is lovely, but you're a bit more limited with your options. So having that in mind, all the routes I'm going to share with you today are between 100 to 150 kilometers, averaging 1,000 to 2,500 meters elevation gain. So the first one has to be Cap de Formentor, also known as the Lighthouse Climb, because it's the most famous, but also because it was my first ride ever 7 years ago, so it does hold a special place in my heart. The views are just incredible. The climb is not too hard, it's nice steady gradient, and you go up and then down and up and down. It's a very rolly ride that opens on incredible views at every single switchback, so it's special, and I would not miss it if I'm here in Mallorca. However, because it's the most famous one, it also gets quite busy, so I would really recommend to avoid this ride on the weekends. Saturday, Sundays are a no-go, it's quite busy. And at the end, you've got a cafe at the lighthouse that you might think, oh, I'm gonna stop there for refuel, but the queue there is always insane. Insane, not in a good way. So what I do is I would always pack my snack and make sure I have my water and all my liquid, so I do not need to refuel there. I can just enjoy the view and then crack on with my ride. My second favorite ride on the island, I call it the Valdemosa Loop. So we go all the way up Valdemosa through Col d'Enclaret that has been recommended by my friend Jason, also known as Cycling in Box on YouTube. He's a big Mallorca connoisseur, and this climb is actually such a good hidden gem. It's beautiful. Again, it's like quite short, not very hard. You get to Valdemosa, a beautiful town in Mallorca, have your coffee there, and then we keep going to Col d'Honor and Col d'Orient. Another amazing climb in the middle of the Sierra Tramontana. Is very beautiful. The tarmac is a bit bad at the moment, but the Tourist Board of Mallorca is working on it, and they are about to resurface the whole tarmac. And when this road is going to have butter smooth tarmac, is going to be iconic. Third one on my list is the Ronda Loop. So that goes up to Cura Monastery. It's right in the middle of the island again, and it's a beautiful 60 kilometers loop, which is perfect for a rest day. So if you follow that video and you've done the lighthouse on day 1 and then Valdemosa and Col d'Honor on day 2, by day 3, even if you're on a ride, you might need to want to relax the legs a little bit. This is when this ride comes super handy. All of it is flat, apart from the ride up to the monastery. The landscapes are amazing. I really think that the Mallorca countryside, the middle of the island, is a bit underrated. People don't really think about it. All we see is the mountain, the mountain, the mountain. But the countryside here is gorgeous. At the moment it's March and it's spring. We've got wildflowers everywhere. It's been raining quite a bit over the past few weeks, which means everything is super green, super lush. And when you are in the middle of the island, you also get to enjoy those stunning views on the mountains. And it's quite cool to see the mountains and not being in it sometimes. Okay, let's talk about Sakalobra. I know this is the one you've been waiting for, and yes, Sakalobra is obviously on the list. I really like to pair Sakalobra with Sabataya, which is, by the way, my favorite climb on the island. So we start again from the middle of the island, we go up Sabataya. I always do those things. Anyway, up is switchback after switchback after switchback. So we go up Sabataya, then have a coffee at the iconic petrol station. So cheap there, by the way. It's really worth it to refuel on all your Haribos and drinks and everything. And then we keep going in the mountain to get to the top of Sakalobra. Now, the thing to know about Sakalobra is that once you've made a decision to go down, you're going to have to climb back up because there is no way out. That's the way, that's the only way. Again, because Sakalobra is one of the most iconic routes in Mallorca, it can be very, very, very busy in a really unpleasant way. There are lots of coaches that go down and up there. I don't know why. I don't know why someone would like to be on a coach to do that, but it's a fact. And sometimes it can be very frustrating. So I do recommend, again, please avoid Sakalobra at the weekends when it's super peak season. And if you can leave as early as you can in the morning to get to that climb even before 11 a.m., that would be ideal. You would have a much better experience. Now, if you're into big climbs, another of my favorite loops on the island is the one that combines Col de Soyer and Puig Major. Col de Soyer is absolutely beautiful, your classic switchback climbs. It's quite short, I think it's about 8 kilometers, really lovely. And then I get back into Soyer, always have a coffee and a pastry there because the town is beautiful. It's the town of the orange trees, really iconic in Mallorca, and it's got a beautiful church. It's very, very nice. And then from there, you can climb the big Puig Major. That's 14 kilometers climb, quite steady, but you know, it's still 14K. It's actually the biggest climb on the island. Again, stunning views, really beautiful. And when you get to the top, you pass by the top of Sakalobra. Feel free to go down Sakalobra and back up again if you are trying an Everesting or something, because that's really gonna add up your elevation. But what I really like to do after that is to go back down Sabataya, which on top of being my favorite climb, is also my favorite descent on the island. It's just so smooth. I would try to squeeze that descent on as many rides as possible, to be honest. So yeah, that's a really, really good loop, a really good day of riding on Mallorca. And last but not least, the ride to Andra. I think this ride is very underrated, just because people don't think about it. It's quite far. When you stay in Port Poyensa, you have to cross the whole of the Tramontana mountains to get all the way down to Andra, which is a trek, but this ride is so worth it. You cross amazing villages, you get to see the most beautiful coastline, you have a tunnel towards the end as well with super view, like it's quite cool to see, and they've just resurfaced the tarmac of that tunnel, which makes it, again, butter smooth, super special. You alternate going up and going down, and the last descent to Andra is just pure joy. It's incredible. There are some tips to know for that ride if you wish to do it. So again, if you stay in the middle of the island, it's going to be 150, 160K for you, which is feasible if you know you have the legs for it. If this is a struggle, you can also stop your ride in Palma and get on the train to get back to where you are. And finally, the last option for people who stay in Puerto Poyensa, when you get down to Andra, there's a service that organizes transfer with your bikes and yourself all the way back to Puerto Poyensa. It's a bit pricey, but super worth it. So these are 6 of my favorite routes. This week is my 8th time, I think, in Mallorca, but there is still so much to discover on the island. Of course, I'm sure I missed many on this list, and I'm always here to discover some new routes as well. So please leave a comment below to let us know what your favorite routes are. What are the climbs that I'm missing? What are the loops that I'm missing? Would love to hear your thoughts on it. I hope you found this video useful and that you already started planning for your next Mallorca holiday. Please make sure you give us a like, subscribe to the channel not to miss any of the incoming Mallorca videos. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. I'm now gonna get a sangria.